Hey guys, after yesterday's celebration I am super excited to finally bring you my character tutorial for Master Raven in Tekken 7. I just want to reiterate quickly at the beginning of this tutorial just how strong and amazing I think this character really is. She's considered by most people to be a high tier character. I personally believe that she should be in the absolute top tier. I think this character is amazingly strong, but kind of complex and finicky in her character design, and so I think the skill ceiling for this character is very, very high. I think you can start learning this character and then just as you go forward just add more and more tools to your toolbox, and if you can manage to get all of the complex things inside of Master Raven's move list sort of into your body and make it very intuitive to yourself, you're going to be an absolute monster with this character. Her mix-up potential from, you know, normal just standing right here, from full crouch, from back turn, are all super strong. Her combos are some of the best in the game. They have some of the best damage, some of the best wall carry, and then some of the best wall combo potential of any character. I think her counter hit game is strong. I think she is just an amazing, amazing character. Basically what Lucky Chloe would be if Lucky Chloe was great. So, let's just start off. I don't know how long this is going to go, so I just put a stopwatch for once. I need to tell you that Master Raven is a character that has a lot of stuff going on with her, and so there's no way I can teach you everything in this video. So I'm just going to try and give you as much as I can. I am working off of frame data that I created, like a list when Master Raven was new in the arcades, and she might have changed a little bit in terms of her frame data since then. I'm not 100% sure, so if you hear me say something that sounds inconsistent with how she's functioning in the console release, please let us know in the comments. Alright, so we're going to start this off by talking about some punishment. For standing 10 frames, you've got 2-4. 2-4 is an above average high damage 10 frame punisher, and it's very, very nice. Comes highly recommended. You can also use your normal 1-2 if you like. It's got much less damage but a little bit better range, but the main reason to ever use 1-2 is that you can press 3+4 to go into haze, which is one of Raven's stances, and it is not like a super important, super like useful stance, but it's got some somewhat useful tools out of it, and it can be good to sometimes jump into haze. The main reason you want to do this is you can cause hesitation and then use haze 2, which is an unblockable move that is very long range and quite fast, and so your opponent is going to unnecessarily eat this quite a lot, because if you check from out here, I just barely missed right there, but yeah, right there it hits, because she's actually pulling out her sword, which means that it has longer range than it looks. The tip of the range is not her hands, it's actually the tip of her sword. But that's just 10 frames. Then for 12 frames, you've got 4-1 as probably my personal favorite move with Raven. This is an amazing, amazing move. You get 29 damage, but more importantly, you go into back turn. And when Raven is in back turn and has plus frames, which you obviously are going to have when you punish with this move for 12 or 13 frames or whatever, you can do some pretty terrifying mix-up stuff. So this is great, and one of my personal top recommendations for punishment. 4-1. Also, I can mention right here, we should probably talk more about it later, but Raven's 4 is a counter hit launcher. Same as, a lot of characters have great counter hit 4s. Katarina has one, Shaheen has one, Claudio has one, and Raven has one. The main difference with Raven being that her counter hit 4 is part of this 4-1 string that you're going to use most of the time, and it is 12 frames instead of 11, but then I think it also has some really, really cool stuff attached to it that actually make up for the fact that it is a little bit slower. I think this move is absolutely amazing. Okay, so for 15 frames, unfortunately, you don't get a launcher. Raven is one of those characters that doesn't get a launcher for 15, and this is something that people have cited as a reason that she doesn't, belong at the absolute top tier and maybe like just a high tier character. I personally don't think it matters, because, I mean, if you think about when you're playing a highly competitive Tekken game, how often it actually matters that you launch your opponent with exactly 15 and not like 16 frames. Usually what happens when you launch your opponent is you get a counter hit, you interrupt something, or you whiff punish, or maybe you duck under something, and I think it's kind of rare that you specifically need to, for example, block punish with 15 frames with a launcher, but it can happen, and so that's one thing to be aware of. For 15 frames, you've got 1+2, It's a solid knockdown option. You can also use my personal recommendation for 2-3, and the reason I like for 2-3 is that it has insanely good range. You can see she makes a swipe for the balls here from way out here, grabs them and then kicks you over the head, and this means that she's able to use this to punish a lot of pushback stuff. So this is like, you know, I've talked about in previous videos about how you need a long range punish sometimes for stuff like Death Fist, Heihachi's for 4-2, Claudio's for 2-2, and moves that have a lot of pushback but are punishable, right? So that's a great option. And then for 16 frames you get your first launcher, which is down 4-2. And something to note about the down 4-2 is that it will put you in back turn, and that's just something you have to learn how to deal with Master Raven, because she is a character that thrives using back turn. Along with Xiao Yu, probably the character that needs to use back turn the most. It is a very, very exceptional tool for her, and a lot of her important moves like down 4-2, like 4-1 will put you in back turn whether you want to be there or not. So you need to learn how to use back turn with Raven. But you can, this is super easy to combo off of. I mean, don't worry about it, right? You just like do that, and then you can do like whatever for a follow-up. Okay, and then for while standing, unfortunately, you're not super strong. She has a while standing 4, like most characters, and it's 11 to 12 frames. I think sometimes this usually comes out like 12 frames, which means that it is 1 frame slower than most while standing 4s, which is a little bit unfortunate. And then for 14 frames you get a launcher, and this is amazing because 14 frame while standing launcher is a rare and premium tool, so it's faster than you would normally expect to be able to launch with any launcher with any character. 14 frames is premium speed, so this is going to be your main option for any low that you block that is minus 14 or more, and I think that's the combo. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's great, and it works perfectly obviously for when you're ducking any kind of high or whatever. So that's just a quick note on Raven punishment. Now I want to jump into like poking and neutral game, and this is where Raven's move list just gets incredibly huge, and she has so many different options. And so you're gonna have to forgive me if I don't have time to go through everything. There might be like favorite things that you like to do with Raven that I'm not talking about, simply because I think this character can be played in about a million different ways. She's not like one of those characters that like, oh, when you know Miguel is up close, he likes to use down forward 1 a lot, but Raven is simply not that straightforward. There's a lot of stuff you can do with her, and it's going to depend on who you are and whether or not you're like adapting to a certain opponent and whatever. But I can mention quickly that she has a down forward 1 like a lot of characters. This is not a standard down forward 1. It's 14 or 15 frames. She has a lot of these moves that like have ambiguous frame data, but I'm going to go ahead and say 14 frames. So it's slower than most down forward ones, and it has this weird thing where she, you know, she gives them a kidney shot and they stagger backwards, meaning that you actually have a very fantastic +8 on hit, but you are minus like 0 to -1, so basically neutral on block, meaning that you can like get this blocked and then go straight into a counter move like 4-1. Counter it for 1, and that can be a great setup. But that's a good little mid to use, but it's not like one of those nice little fast down for ones that you can use to refloat and stuff. It's got a little bit of a wonky hitbox. So what you want to use for like a main mid poke with Raven is actually down back 2, which is a very weird notation for a mid poke, I grant you, and it's part of this very important string down 4-2-1. So down 4-2-1, this is like a main little pokey mix-up with Raven. You do a lot of down 4-2, you do a lot of down 4-2-1. And so if you do the down 4-2-1, you're going to remain facing forwards. If you do the down 4-2 by itself, sorry, I'm saying this wrong, the down back 2. Down back 2-1, this is down back 2-1. I'm glad I caught myself. I didn't want to have say an input wrong that early in the tutorial. This is down back 2-1. So you do down back 2-1 for like the quick poking string if you want to remain facing forward, or the down back 2 by itself to get the back turn. And this again has amazing frame data. The down back 2 is -1 on block, which is insignificant, and +7 on hit, meaning that if you get this, you are back turn and you have a massive frame advantage, and you can do a lot of like cool mix-up stuff like, you know, back turn back 2 and stuff from back turn. So this is a great little tool, and one of your main mid pokes, and one of your main ways to get into back turn when you want to do something from back turn. Like maybe you want to go into back turn quickly and launch your opponent with a down 3 or whatever. But more about that later. That's important, and this is important. And then another really important like close-up poking tool that I want to talk about is obviously the 4-1. 4-1 is an amazing move. I love this move. I use it a lot, especially to get into back turn, and then you can do all kinds of crazy mix-ups from back turn. So it's an amazing tool, and your main counter hit tool that you're going to use for a close-up game. Like I said, comes out at 12 frames, so just be aware of that. You get -2 on block, which is not that big at all, but you are back turn, and you get +5 on hit, meaning that your mix-up potential after this move is absolutely stellar. So fantastic move. Okay, so that's just like, I mean, you have your normal jab strings, you have your 10 frame block punisher right there, you have your down forward one for like creating massive frame advantages and start doing mix-ups. You can use your 4-1 a lot if you want to go into back turn, and then like your main poking string slash mix-up is are you going to do down back 2 and then do something crazy from back turn, or are you going to do down back 2 1 and then, you know, just use that frame advantage and do you know, another poke and keep doing offense from neutral. All right, that was just a quick rundown on like good close-up tools. I know I'm probably forgetting some stuff, but what I want to talk about next is I want to talk a little bit about useful lows, and then I want to go into some full crouch stuff. And then when we talk about full crouch stuff, we probably also need to do crouch dash. So this is going to be like a big and a little bit like a pretty big and sort of complex section, but bear with me. So if we start with just good low pokes, right? You've got down 3. Down 3 is such a good move because it is ridiculously fast. You might not be able to tell right here, but this is one of the fastest lows ever. I mean, it comes out at, what is it, down 3. According to the frame data that I'm using, 14 frames, which makes it like easily one of the fastest lows in existence. Great move, and it still has great frame data on block. You're only at -12, meaning that it's never going to get heavily punished. And then you are at ±0, I'm pretty sure, on hit. So great little move, and a main sort of quick poke from when you're up here and you just want to tack on a lower. You can just do down 3, right? The next move I want to talk about is down 4. As you can see from way out here, this low has some of the craziest range ever, and it also has great crush properties. It actually reminds me a lot of Elisa's down back 3, which should tip you off to the fact that this move is amazing, because Elisa's down back 3 is one of the best low pokes in Tekken. The range is absolutely amazing. It has a little bit of an angular thing where, you know, she starts migrating to the right. Raven has a lot of this stuff. Like after most moves, I mean, if you look at the angle she's standing right here, her left butt cheek is sort of diagonally facing us and shining brightly in the sun, while Miguel is sort of diagonally facing away from her and to the right. So she has a lot of this stuff where she is kind of at weird angles, so you just got to be aware of what moves work after what other moves, so that you're not starting to use things that are inconsistent at certain angles, which is hard, and it's something that comes with just experience in using the character. But we were talking about down back 4, sorry, down 4, not down back 4. This is down 4. And the frame data for down 4, let's have a look. Down 4 is an 18 frame low, meaning that it is unseeable, but you're at -14 on block, meaning that certain characters, like amazing characters like Master Raven, can actually launch punish it on block. And this is another move that it allows you to recover in full crouch. While this will make you stand, or leave you standing, the down 3, the down 4 will allow you to go into full crouch. And I always want to give you an option for both, because going into full crouch can be important, and it's especially important with Master Raven because her full crouch is insanely good. The next low you need to know about is down back 4. This, again, I mean, the range on some of her lows and a lot of her stuff is just absolutely crazy. I mean, the ball grab, this, that, and the down back 4 also has amazing range. This is very reminiscent of Lars's down back 4 in the sense that it is a low sweep that isn't going to launch you or anything, but it's actually a little bit more favorable still, because it's even faster. This comes out at, let's have a look here, down back 4, 23 frames. and it's only minus 14 on block, meaning that it's not launch punishable by the whole cast, which is very good. But it's just one of these long, keep outish, high crushy, very good low options. And on counter hit, you do not get a combo, but you do get guaranteed damage. What I like, you have a couple of options you can do. I think down back 4 into down back 4, which is 41 damage. You can do down back 4 into up forward 3, which is this move, and my personal favorite option, and that also gives you the 41 damage. So yeah. So that's like your guaranteed mini combo off of the counter hit down back 4, and I think that down 3, down 4, and down back 4 basically rounds out your main sort of low options. But there are other things. I mean, you have a wealth of really good lows with Raven. She has amazing lows. I'm gonna have some coffee right here. Excuse me. Okay. What now? Okay, let's talk a little bit about the roll dash. Just like Leo, Raven is a character who has a very usable and very good roll dash. Just doing this to your opponent is going to stress them out because she has good options. She also has the option, obviously, of holding down or down forward after a roll dash to stay in full crouch. And like I've said before, her full crouch is good, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So a main mix-up out of the roll dash is to just stay in full crouch. The difference between her and Leo here is that Leo likes to do moves and then cancel them into the roll dash to mix people up, whereas Raven actually is more comfortable just doing the roll dash to create mix-up and stress people out, and she doesn't really have like a lot of transitional moves. I think the main thing you do is like you can do haze into like a roll dash and stuff like that. But okay, so let's talk a little bit about what moves she has. So the main mix-up out of roll dash is created because of the fact, I mean, I've said this before, but when I say roll dash, what I mean is crouch dash, but I use the term roll dash to refer to non-Mishima style crouch dashes. So then when I say crouch dash, I'm usually referring to a Mishima style crouch dash. That's just a terminology I use to tell those apart, but you can think of this as crouch dash if you want to. I'm going to call it roll dash in this tutorial. So the main mix-up is created by the fact that you have roll dash 2. And roll dash 2 is a low, cheeky little launcher that is really going to annoy people. I mean, the animation is sort of tricky, and it's this like little punchy low, but it is a launcher. And because this exists, the roll dash becomes terrifying, and it strengthens all of your like mid options out of this stance. For the combo, I mean, we're going to talk about combos later, but I think you have to do like this, right? Yeah. Okay, fine. But that's roll dash 2, and roll dash 2 is minus 17, so you're going to get launch punished if it gets blocked. I think the characters that cannot launch punish it are like maybe Gigas and Kazumi, who I think launch while standing at 18 frames, but they also have like while standing 1-2 and 2-3 respectively, so they're still going to punish you hard and get a knockdown, so be careful. But the fun thing about this move is, okay, Raven, we should just talk a little bit about this. Raven is really good at bullying her opponents, reading her opponents, tricking them, and really sort of being unfair and I'm not going to call it cheap because it's not easy to do, but like you want to bully and play mind games with your opponent, and this is a good way she can do that because she has a very tricksy thing right here. This is roll dash 2. And this is a roll dash 2 a tilde 1, and like you can see, she goes into the actual animation of roll dash 2 during roll dash 2 a tilde 1, and then she just does a spin around and she just hits you with a very chunky mid right in the solar plexus, which is very cool because if your opponent is sharp enough to start ducking these, then you can just mix that up with a very chunky mid. This move can also be performed by just doing down forward 1+2, I think. Still, let's have a look. Yeah, down forward 1+2, you can still do this move, but I don't think there's any reason because you're mixing it up from roll dash, so you might as well learn to do the roll dash 2 a tilde 1. If you don't know what like a tilde input is, it's something kind of rare these days, but Raven has a lot of it, and it just means that you press 2 and then just slightly after you press 2, you press 1. So it's not 2-1, it's 2 and then pretty much instantly 1, but you don't press them at the same time. You press them in this kind of piano, plinky kind of sequence, and you get this move. It's not hard to do, trust me. No problem at all. Another thing that you can do that I want to talk about from roll dash is of course the fantastic mid option roll dash 4. I talked a little bit about this in my Kazumi Green Ranks walkthrough video, how a lot of Ravens specialize in baiting people out with roll dash 2 and then cancelling the roll dash 2 into down back 2 and like doing this and just fishing for launches, because this move is so safe on whiff. It's not safe at all on block, mind you, but it is very safe on whiff, so you can like keep on whiffing this and cancel. And because the range of this move is so great and you have high crush properties during the roll dash, you can see the range right there, it's actually pretty fantastic. You are very likely to score some cool launches with this move. So that's just a quick thing mix-up you can do from roll dash. I'm not going to go too far into like her other stuff. She has 1, which is a counter hit mid, and then another really important thing about Raven's roll dash is that much like Leo, she has let's see if we can show you here on the control pad. I'm famously bad at this. There you go. She has this option right here that I'm doing right now to if you yeah, there it is. You have the option, obviously, just like Leo and any other roll dash character, to, if you don't do the quarter circle forward, but you just do the down forward and then neutral, you can do your while standing moveset out of the roll dash, like that. And so, because you have this great 14 frame launcher that I talked about earlier, while standing one, let's see if we can get it out here, right there. That it's another, you can use your while standing moveset to flesh out your roll dash mix-up, and it's a little bit hard to do on a control pad for me, which is why I messed it up so much there. It is much easier on a control stick, because you can just slide your stick into the down forward gate and then let it go, but it's very doable on like I did right there on the control pad. You just need to practice it, and I don't play Raven on a control pad, so that's something you need to practice if you want to get really good with her. So that was a quick intro to her roll dash, and then a very important thing that I said that you need to do other than roll dash is you need to go into full crouch. And now I want to talk briefly about the fact that Raven has a very good full crouch mix-up. The main low is this. This is iconic, super strong Raven move. It's full crouch down forward 3+4, and on hit, only on hit, if you press 4, you get this guaranteed follow-up for 38 damage. This is very good. The 4 does not come out if you get blocked, but that's your main low. It's very fast, it does good damage, it knocks down, and this is the main reason people are so scared of Raven when she is, I mean, when she's crouch dashing at you, they're scared because she can launch you low. When she's back turn, they're scared because she can launch you low. When you're crouching, she can do this to you. So her mix-up potential is really huge, and this is the main tool from full crouch. And then in terms of mids, I mean, you have the while standing 1 for launch, obviously, but you have you can just do a while standing 4. You can do a while standing 1+2 for a very good homing move that she has from while standing. So all kinds of cool mix-ups, but the main low is this, and then you can use really whatever mid you prefer to mix that up from full crouch. So her full crouch is very strong, and her crouch dash harassment into full crouch, cancel that into full crouch, and doing this is also very strong. Alright, so we talked a little bit about that. And we talked a little bit about lows. I guess what I want to do now is I want to talk about your back turn. No, that's great that I accidentally did that move right there, because we should talk about that as well. This is back 3, and it is one of my favorite moves with Raven, and when you feel like you can safely get this out, I think this is easily one of the most like useful tools a character could ever have, and I'm going to explain why. This move is slow. You can tell that it's slow, right? Which means that you cannot be like up here and jabbing, and your opponent's trying to like sneak in jabs on you and doing like counter force, and then just do this, because it is too slow. It comes out at 27 frames. Okay, so it's almost half a second, meaning that when your opponent is hesitating, or you're like spaced out, or they're just being defensive and blocking, it's a premium option, but it's not like a mid poke for up close or anything. But the reason it's so good is that On hit you get +5, but on block you get +4. So you actually get a significant frame advantage both on hit and on block, meaning that if you do this move and it connects with your opponent, whether it's a hit or block, you've collected a significant frame advantage, and you can go straight into like a counter hit tool like 4-1, or you can do like whatever mix-up you want. It's super good. And so if your opponent happens to be unaware of the amazing plus frame properties of this move, you can absolutely blow them up with this and do all kinds of like mix-ups after this. So it's very nice. Yeah, just like have a look at your opponent and try and tell whether or not you think you're going to be able to make it connect. And if you do, I mean, I use this move in the same way I use Gigas' back too, when I charge that up and create Goliath mix-ups, because that move is even slower. It takes like a full second, but sometimes you just know that you're going to be able to run up on your opponent and do a very slow move because they're just going to block, and that's when you want to use this move. And it's the same thing with that move, right? Because it's an unblockable. But this is very good. So I'm glad I remembered to mention that. And I guess before we start talking about back turn, we should just mention some spaced out game. I've talked about crouch dash or roll dash 4 as a great option. You want to not get this move blocked. You want to hit or whiff mainly with this move, because it's safer on whiff than it is on block. And you can cancel the back turn into with the down back to evade if your opponent's going to try and like whiff punish it. And then you have 4-4-2, which is a great move. It is, what is it? 4-4-2 is -13, but it has significant pushback, meaning you can get away unpunished a lot of the time. You get good damage and a knockdown, but a safer and better option, in my opinion, and sort of the premium gap closing option with Raven. And honestly, one of her best moves for any kind of reason is 4-4-4. The range is amazing, the evasive properties is amazing, it causes wall splats, it closes the gap, it is absolutely stellar. I use it very similarly to how I would use 4-4-2 with Gigas. On block, this move is -9 to 10, it is listed as. So I think some characters might be able to 10 frame block punish it, but I've almost never seen it happen. I think it is okay to think of this move as safe. So basically a very long range, safe, super good mid and gap closing option. Obviously a round ender and a wall splatting tool, and just a fantastic option. And then from like spaced out, you can also do amazing stuff, like you can roll in with that and launch people low. You can mix that up with the Untitled 1. And yeah, you have great stuff. Another option that I should mention here that you see a lot of Raven players use is the 3-4. 3-4 is a high damage, very long range launcher that you can use from way out here. It's one of her highest damage launching options actually. And if you hold forward after 3-4, she will do this cartwheel, become invisible, and phase through the opponent. And this is really weird because like you see right here, like if I'm like at this range and I do it, I sort of end up at a sort of weird angle going through Miguel. If I do it out here, and I end up at kind of another angle. If I do it like from a side angle, this move and where you sort of end up after the 3-4 hold forward is sort of dependent on like range and what your opponent is doing at the time, whether you're whiff punishing or what you're doing. So this is like a big experience thing with her, knowing like what your options are after you phase through them and what you want to do. But it is a very useful tool, because if your opponent fails to deal with this properly, you basically do this. If it hits, you get 28 damage from a nice mid, and you cross your opponent up, and then you're pretty much safe unless they have a lot of experience and they know specifically how to deal with this move. Yeah, it's very decent. So this is pretty cool, but it's also an amazing long range launcher and whiff punisher. And the combo you have to do after this, we're going to mention combos later obviously, is you need to do a quick, and it's kind of inconsistent sometimes, which is annoying, but you need to do a quick back 2-3, and then you get amazing damage. I think you can also do a forward 3-4 for the spin, but that's going to be a lot less damage, but it also works. Okay, so we're already at the half-hour mark, and I'm not nearly half done. I hope I managed to squeeze everything I want to talk about into an hour. Alright. Let's just stop talking about good moves because you have way too many, and talk about back turn, because back turn is so important, and you need to start to be able to use back turn, and you also want to be able to do this taunt to make your opponent pissed whenever you've won a round, and then you start dancing like this and your dreads are flying all around and your opponent gets angry and then you own them. So this is important. Hold back, buffer 3 or 4, and then press the other 3 or 4 button, and then you can keep on dancing. But this is also the manual transition for your... I'm sorry. This is your manual transition for back turn. It's back 3+4, and it's a good option. You can actually just do this, like run up on your opponent, hello, and then just do that, and it's going to stress them out because your back turn is so good. But like I said, main important Master Raven moves like down back 2, 4-1, and down 4-2. To mention a few, will transition you into back turn, and so you need to be aware of what your options are from back turn, because if you do this and you just stand here when you're a new Raven player, I mean, you need to be aware you can't block when your back turn, or your, I guess in Raven's case, when your huge sort of butt is faced towards your opponent like this at a weird angle. You cannot block attacks, which means that you, when you do something like this, you need to quickly either move out as fast as you can, or you need to do some kind of like move, like a fast low or like a jab to get out. You can't just do this and then just like stand here and think about what you want to do next while blocking, because your opponent can just launch you then. Okay, so mainly you want to hit with something, get plus frames, and then mix them up from back turn. If you get blocked, you want to get out. Typically, you can do a crush move. You can hold down back to cancel out. You can do like some quick jabs or whatever, but just be aware that it's very risky to use back turn stuff when you don't know your options out of back turn. You need to know about your options out of back turn, okay? So the first thing I want to mention, let's just start with the most like important big stuff. You've got a down 3, right? And it's similar to Feng, how he has like a launching low sweep from back turn. This is very launch punishable on block, but it's a very powerful low, and so this creates a lot of mix-up potential for your back turn. And I mean the combo that you get off this, the damage is actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean 68, and you can probably get even more. So that's obviously super good damage. So that's a very dangerous option that you have. But you actually don't need it to mix up from back turn, because you have a forward 4-3. This is a natural hit combo, low high string. So this is like super chunky and super good for a low. It's more than powerful enough that your opponent's going to be scared of back turn lows, which means that you don't need to use a launch punishable sweep to mix your opponent up from back turn. You can actually use the forward 4-3. Which is a stellar option as well. And like the main low, when you don't want to get too crazy and like do something big like this is your main low. It is also your primary spin move from back turn, but that's very good. And then what else? What other significant moves have I written down here? Okay, so you have the 1+2, which is a very chunky fast mid. This is punishable on block, but the reason this is very good is there are certain situations where you can get this guaranteed on your opponent, because it actually hits grounded opponents when their head is facing you, but it doesn't, it's not guaranteed on grounded opponents when their feet are facing you. This is a little bit weird, and if I say anything wrong here, I've tried to study this a little bit, and I've watched a lot of match footage to like understand how high-level Raven players use this. But if you are very knowledgeable when it comes to back turn 1+2, I would love to see your comments. But the way I have understood it is if you manage to spike your opponent down after a knockdown with something like 3-4, and their head is towards you, if you do, because 3-4 leaves you in back turn, right? If you do back turn 1+2, you get that guaranteed if your opponent's head is facing you. But if their feet are facing you, you don't. Which means that, for example, if you were to do something like, let's see if you can come up with an example here. Something like that. I did it too slow there, which is why it didn't work. But that 1+2 should be guaranteed, meaning that becomes a very high damage option. And you see people collect these guaranteed back turn 1+2s a lot, and I think this is how it works, but don't necessarily quote me on it. But it's a great move for that, and then you know you got to do other stuff for when the opponent's feet are facing you, because you don't want to get this move blocked, right? But this is also like I'm gonna mention it again in the combo section, I guess, but a thing you can do with Raven that is pretty cool is if you say you score a launch with her and then you spin the opponent like that, for example, and then you do 3 tilde 4. Oh, sorry, I'm back turn there, so that doesn't work. Okay, let's do that instead. You can do like this for a mix-up to hit people, but you can also do stuff like what was I trying to show you? Okay, let's just do a real combo. You can also do stuff like 3 tilde 4. Okay, let's just do the real combo. You can do 3 tilde 4 like that, and then because you're in back turn, if you just wait a little bit and then you do the down 3, you can reset them into a completely new launch and get amazing damage, right? So say I do this combo, I spin them like that, I do 3 tilde 4, and then I do down 3. If I get a clean hit when they get up, I can relaunch my opponent and then get huge damage. Sorry, I didn't explain that well at all. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you combos later. Forget that for now. It's a little bit advanced, but you can do weird stuff with back turn 1+2 is what I just wasted 5 minutes explaining. All right, so what I want to mention for back turn is, I mean, you have these great lows, and so you need to mix this up with a good mid. And so I found that my favorite mid from back turn is actually 4 to 2 3. This is a great little mid. You don't see it that much, but I absolutely love it. When I do see it, I usually see it from good Raven players. I didn't know about this move until I studied up for this tutorial, but I think this is absolutely fantastic because you have a very safe little mid. This is only -7 on block, meaning that it is safe, but it scores you a cool little knockdown on hit, right? So you can do like cool Oki stuff. And it is a knockdown mid for decent damage, meaning that, you know, if you've got like great lows like this and you've got your big low, you know, down 3, you have a very solid mid here that you can mix that up with. Another option that you have is back 2. Back 2 is a great little mid that you can harass people with from back turn, and it's going to keep you back turned, so you can keep doing this. It's part of this like launcher that she has, but it's very good. And this also gives you a spark and some very decent frame advantage on counter hit. So that's a very good mid harassment tool from back turn, and I love that as well. So these are like main mids. And then if you just want to do some quick jabs to get out, you've got your 2-1, which is like your quick jab string. High from the back turn. And you can always do stuff like, you know, generic back turn down 4 and generic back turn hop kick if you want to launch, which is great. So that's just some basic back turn stuff. Be aware of your favorite options. Be aware of what options you want to do after what back turn stuff. Whether it's 3 tilde 4, down back 2, 4-1. And this is if you manage to like create, like transition into back turn using stuff like 4-1 after maybe a 12 frame block punish, maybe just out in the open, confirm the hit and then successfully create a mix-up from back turn. Just by applying that effectively, I think you have a strategy that is strong enough that you can abuse that to get to a pretty high rank with Raven. I think that is strong enough that it's going to get you super far. It's kind of like the equivalent of Leo just using back 4-1 to create King K mix-ups. It's really strong. And you have the great roll dash as well, and all the options out of that. Your while standing launcher you can do out of your roll dash. It's fantastic. You can create mix-ups with this. Your back turn stuff is great. You have some pretty unorthodox poking tools like this up close, but you can always collect the great plus frames using your down forward 1. Your back 3 is going to allow you for plus frames on both block and hit, which is amazing. Your 4-1 is like your main counter hit tool. And yeah, great stuff. The next move we need to talk about briefly before we go into combo stuff, and I think this is going to transition like kind of organically into combo stuff. Let's just do combos right now because we have another 20 minutes here. Raven's combos are very good, very crazy. She has a lot of options, and so I'm just going to show you some high damage good options that I use. Whether or not they are the best options or the most favorable options or the optimal damage options, I can't guarantee you. But these are going to be solid options that some very good players use, but some other very good players use other stuff. And so you just got to be aware of the fact that I can't show you everything, but I'm going to give you some combos that I think you can use and be aware or like sure that you're at least doing solid combos, right? So she has this move, right? And we're going to talk about this as sort of Raven's main launcher initially here. This has always been Raven's signature move because it is such a fantastic fast long range launcher, mainly a whiff punisher. Unfortunately, it is punishable on block. It puts you at -13 in this game, I'm pretty sure. So it can get punished, but when it doesn't, it's a great launcher and combo tool. And it's very, very good. And so, yeah, this is like a main whiff punishing tool for Raven. I should have probably mentioned it when I talked about the like spaced out game here. But if you're like doing, you know, your Korean backdash canceling and you're looking for whiffs and you're jumping in with this, you can get really high damage and very good wall carry. Before we go into like how to do her combos proper, I guess I should just mention that, you know, I always like to give you some throws. She has her generic throws, but she also has down forward 4-1, which is this move. Above average damage for throw, it's a 1 break. And then much like Gigas, she has let's see if we can pull this off with Raven. Yeah, she has this is the same input as Gigas' overkill throw. It's obviously not as good as overkill because overkill is probably the best throw in the game. But this is a 12 frame high damage throw that comes out of quarter circle back forward 1+2. So same input as overkill. The neck breaker does very, very good damage. 48 damage on a normal hit, like you saw right there. And that's like a 1+2 break, I'm pretty sure. So that's your main throw mix-up. Okay, let's do combos. So a main combo that I want to show you with Raven that I think is good off of most of her standard launchers is I'm going to show it and then talk through it, okay? Okay, so that was just a generic example. You can get more damage, but you need to do a little bit of a delay at one point in the combo. I'm going to try and get it now and then explain it, so just bear with me for a second. Okay. Yeah, so when she surfs her opponent, she gets a lot of extra damage, very similar to when Shaheen does that with his Snake 3. And the way to make this combo hit consistently and get the surf at the end instead of the just normal hit for 61 damage is, I think, what you need to do, what seems to work for me is I delay. Okay, so let's talk through the combo first. This is 4-4-3 into 4-4-3, single one jab. So 4-4-3, 4-4-3, single one jab. The main spin move that she uses is back 2-1-2, which is this string. And I then do a roll dash 3-4. So this is roll dash 3-4 for the finisher. And the way I get the surf thing out is I delay the second 4-4-3 at the beginning of the combo a little bit, because if I do it really fast like this, I knock Miguel away a little bit, but if I delay it, I'm like right there in his crotch, meaning that I'm a little bit closer to his hitbox, and that seems to work for me to get the higher damage version of this combo out consistently. Another option that you can use is you can do the exact same combo, but after the spin, you can do another 4-4-3 into a 4-4-4. It's kind of timing specific and it only gives you 63 damage, but it's a very good option as well. And a generic sort of combo ender with Raven after a spin is 4-4-3 into 4-4-4. So that's a generic combo with Raven. Again, it's 4-4-3 into another 4-4-3 that needs to be fast. You then do a single one jab to refloat. You spin with back 2-4-2. And then you do a roll dash 3-4 for the finisher. For like wall carry conversions, Raven has an amazing option in the shape of her 4-1, and the reason this is so good is it really carries the opponent far for wall carry, but it also leaves Raven in back turn. And the reason this is important is that Raven can do an amazing, very high damage wall combo if she manages to wall splat her opponent and be in back turn. So if you launch your opponent and you carry them to the wall with 4-3, then your back turn, which is exactly where you want to be, and you can do a very high damage combo. I'm going to show that when we switch stages in a little bit, but the way you do the conversion is you spin as normal, and then you can run up and you do that and you get your wall carry, right? Or you can, if you want a floor break, you can substitute that for just a forward 4-3. Sorry, 4-2-3, which is a great wall break option there. You can actually get more damage here, I have found, by using down 4-2-3 as a spin move. So you can do stuff like, if you're fast enough, this should work, yeah. That's better damage. You can get even more damage, I think, by doing... yeah, see, that works. That's actually consistently 66 damage, and you can end with your main wall carry tool. So, I mean, I would even recommend this as kind of like a main option for a combo if you're not if you don't want to use the option I showed you initially. I think this is like a super good option. Just 4-4-3 into another 4-4-3 into down 4-2-3, and then another 4-4-3. Let's see if we can get it again. Into just 4-1. This is, I haven't used this combo a lot, so I'm a little bit inconsistent with it, but it's not hard to do, and the damage is super solid, and it ends with 4-1, and you really want to end combos with 4-1 because of the wall carry potential, so that's a great option. And then you can always, after a spin, finish with 3-4 to get some damage, and then you can create a back turn mix-up for Oki with stuff like 1+2, with stuff like down 3, right? Okay. So that is just some combo options off of the 4-4-3. That's very good. Let's show you back turn 3, because it's basically the same thing. Right, so that's basically the same thing that I showed you before. Down 3, 4-4-3, single jab to refloat, same spin move, and then you can do whatever ender you want out of the generic enders that I showed you earlier. Any kind of ender, I mean, you get 60 damage before the wall carry, so even though it seems like a small partial combo, you actually have above average damage on this combo. Raven's combos are insane. Let's see if this works. Yeah, again, you can do that. 67 damage, and you end with 4-1. Super good. So that's 4-4-3, down 4-2-3 for the spin, 4-4-3, 4-1. Great stuff. Down 2-3 is a great high damage spin move, in my opinion, that gets underused because most people use this, but this obviously has better wall carry potential, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so that's we've done that move and we've done that move. Let's talk about down back 2 quickly. Down back 2 leaves you in back turn. So that's going to be my recommended option. This is back turn. You do this, you go into back turn, you do back 2-3, which is that move. This 3-hit move where she floats them really high. You then do a quick dash forward and you spin them with back 2-4-2, same as usual, and you can do your generic enders again. Like that. 66 damage, very solid. The 4-1 still works after that, but you don't get the actual one hit, but the wall carry is still there, so if you do that, and even if the one whiffs, if you get the wall splat, that's very good. But yeah, this is just a recommended combo I have for you for down 4-2. And then the next move we should talk about is probably, okay, let's talk about 3-4. This one that can be a little bit inconsistent sometimes, but there we go. 78 damage is extremely high, so this is one of your highest damage launchers, like I mentioned. This is you do the 3-4, and right after you hit, you do back 2-3, which is the same move I showed you after the down 4-2. This thing, exact same move. You get a really high float off of that. But like I said, it can be inconsistent, which is really annoying. And then you spin with back 2-4-2, and then you do, you know, whatever ender you want. So you have that. Okay, how are we doing for time? Okay, so we've got another 10 minutes. I think we can do this. We just need to do a wall game after this, and we're pretty much done. Okay, next launcher. You've got 4-3, and the reason 4-3 is used by a lot of Raven players is like it's a good option after a single sidestep. It's like a favorite option of Raven players after making something with a sidestep. You have this 4-3 launcher. And 4-3-3 is the spin. So 4-3-3, but like you can see here, if I just spam it out, 4-3-3, it whiffs. So you have to do a slight delay on the 3, meaning that this combo is a little bit technical and a little bit annoying when you're new. But if you can learn to do just a little bit of a delay like that, you can get this combo, which is my recommendation. It's just a quick little option. There's more damage you can get off of this. I mean, maybe you don't even have to do the 4-3-3. Maybe you can just do... Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can just do that. So maybe do that instead. Let's try that again. See what you can get. Yeah, use that for sure. 64 damage. That's great. So what I did is 4-3. I spun with down 4-2-3, 4-4-3, single jab, and then back 2-4-2, and that gives you 64 damage and good wall carry and everything. So that's a great little option there. Good damage. What else do we have for important launchers with Raven? Oh, we need to talk about this thing, right? Okay, so quarter circle or forward 2 or like roll dash 2. You want to do a 4-4-4. For the refloat, then you do a 4-1, you spin with forward 4-3, and then the only thing you can really do for a follow-up is you do a 3-4 to do this cartwheel in, and then you can do your back turn mix-ups for Oki that I talked about earlier. So it's going to look something like this. Oh, sorry. Like that. And so what you want to do with before you do the 3-4 for the ender is you want to do a slight dash to make it work consistently. But that right there is like the main combo, and then what you do after that is really up to you. You can skip the forward, the first 4-4-4, this thing for the sorry, that 4 right there. You can skip that and get and go straight into the 4-1. Just like that, and that's gonna make the whole thing a little bit more consistent, because Miguel is closer after the spin, but it obviously gives you slightly less damage. But this is an important Raven option. And then you mix up this launcher with the tilde 1, obviously. Very solid stuff. Next launcher we need to talk about is okay, let's have a think. Crouch dash 4. So again, you do back 2-3, a small dash, you spin with that, and then you can do your generic enders just as normal. So back 2-3, a small dash, back 2-4-2 for the spin into a generic combo ender of choice. Very good damage, very, very solid option. So that exists. Okay, so we talked about that, we talked about this, we talked about that thing, we talked about that, we talked about this. Anything else that we're missing? Oh, yeah, there is an important thing that we're missing, the counter hit stuff. So she has two main counter hit launchers. She has 4-3. So for, sorry, 4-3, what am I saying? 4-1, she has 4-1. So 4-1. I usually just do this, but you probably have some really better options here. You can probably do something like maybe Okay, so we just invented a combo right there. That was better than what I was already using. But yeah, so you do, this is 4-1, which is her counter at 4, right? So what I'm doing here, what I like to do before is I just do a quick spin with the back turn forward back turn forward 4-3. And then dash in and then do another 4-1 for wall carry, but that's just 54 damage, so you can probably get a lot more stuff here. So what I did for the other option that did more damage right there is I did the 4-1, I do a single 1 jab from back turn, I then do my generic spin move, and then you can go into an ender. So that gives you 63. That's much more solid. So I'm glad I actually invented that little combo here on the fly. So that's done. I'm sorry I'm rushing through this a little bit, but we're kind of running out of time. So that's going to be okay. And so the last launcher that you need to know about, down forward 3 is a great counter hit launcher. That's high. Super good. I love this move. It launches really high for great damage, and like any generic combo that I've shown you so far is going to hit very consistently off of this launcher. Off of while standing 1, you can do that, and now we really quickly need to switch stages because we have about 4 minutes to talk about wall game before this tutorial becomes very difficult to upload. So okay, we mentioned earlier that you want to end combos with 4-1 to get good wall carry, so I'm going to try and demonstrate quickly how that works. Okay, so that was a little bit too far, so let's try and do... okay, let's try... okay, so that works. Okay, I'm not doing the correct ender. One more time. Right, there it is. Huge damage, 93 damage, absolutely amazing. And so the string that I do for the wall damage there, when you're back turn with Raven, if you've ended your combo with a 4-3, is I do a back turn 1+2, which is that move. And then I do up forward 3+4, 4-2. Up forward 3+4, 4-2. If you can get the back turn 1+2, this is always guaranteed. Even though it looks crazy, it's a very consistent and extremely high damage combo. And so when you're at the wall, if you manage to wall splat your opponent with, say, this move, you can go into manual back turn by using back 3+4, like this, and you can actually get this option. So let's try and show it at least once. Right there, huge damage and one of the best wall combos in the game. It's very good, but you can't get it off of everything. So just a very easy little wall combo I want to show you. If you manage to like get a wall splat and you don't think you're going to get this whole thing and you happen to be not back turned or anything, you can do 1-2, 1+2. Very easy, but solid damage, and it's going to do you a lot of favors for just a simple little wall combo option. Her main wall splat tools include 4-4-4. This is probably her best move. She has 4-4-2, which we've talked about earlier. She has her 10 frame Punisher, actually wall splats, which is same as Gigas, an amazing option. And it's actually one of the options that will allow you to go into manual back turn and do your high damage wall combo, meaning that 10 frame wall splats is a huge resource for any character. And the final move I want to mention for wall splats is forward 1+2, which is your power crush, meaning you can armor through moves with this. It's also a homing move and a mid, meaning that people can't sidestep away from you at the wall. Okay, I gotta wrap this up really quickly right now because we have another 30 seconds, I think, before we go overtime. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I had to cram in a lot of information in this pretty short tutorial. I hope it was enjoyable. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you very much. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye bye.